It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Chargers and the Titans. All that and more. Coming up next.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they can...
Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
And Cook getting the call there on first down as he works his way forward for a nice gain of 5. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 21 carries, 63 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold him a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
And a loose football, and picked up by the Chargers. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a first and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Not only a fumble loss there, but a fumble lost on your first drive in your own territory.
Now you're dealing with a lot of stuff here because you feel bad going off the field because you gave up the football. How does your own defense feel now having to go out there and stop them when the momentum is clearly shifted in their favor?
So excellent starting field position here for the Chargers. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within 1/4 of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Again, it's Hunt. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And they'll run again. But he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Goff. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Irv Smith Jr., his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chargers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Well, this defense for the Chargers, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. 2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And fights through one man. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play action. It's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Here comes Grant on the return. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 18 carries, 74 yards.
And those numbers have both he and his blockers motivated this week. They saw that yardage total climbing, but stopped short of 100. Every one of them has to be driven this week to help him reach the century mark.
False start, offense.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They run again with Hunt. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It will be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
This play started with the protection. You have to have it to give your quarterback time to let routes develop downfield. And then it's on him to locate an open man, and he does just that. Play callers love 4 vertical routes because receivers can be open at any time downfield, often for big gains.
Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
False start, offense.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. On 2nd down, right back to Hunt. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. You talk about this Titan defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
They absolutely have to avoid the penalties, have to run that line between being aggressive and the ones that get you in trouble. The illegal contact, pass interference calls, they've got to make sure that they don't have those. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
His kick is absolutely perfect. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Tennessee offense set to go again. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. From the gun, it's Jackson. And Thomas has it. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Mozzie Smith, he's the one who got in there and made that play defensively. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Jackson now. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. This to Grant on the short pass. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. 3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Santos' kick is up and through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. 7 yards there and a first down. Hunt will try going up the middle. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give them 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down. First down, Chargers. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
False start, offense.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. On the counter, Hunt. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. 10-3 our score after one here on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a third down coming up. Out of the gun, Goff. That is incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their third drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. They have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. This 2nd and 4. Here's Jackson to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up the first down. On the counter, it's Hill. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
They run the counter with Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Alex Highsmith simply would not be stopped on that play. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Here's Jackson. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run again with Hunt. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up the third down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable third down, 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Here's Goff. Work in the middle of the field. He's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 40. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Holding offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Gone. Short throw to Smith. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
False start, offense.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Handoff up the middle. Hunt. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
False start, offense.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Goff now to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Now a quick throw as they get it to Ayuk outside. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 2nd down. A carry here for Hunt. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He's going to find Cook here in the end zone for a Charger touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Chargers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, They look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A 2nd and 11 from the 19. To throw is Jackson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Short throw to Smith. And he is going to have the Chargers first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, so he thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now Goff. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. An extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Here's Goff. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Touchdown! Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, So they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now Moody for the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive goes 8 plays. And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Titans offense going to get one final possession in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Thomas. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Jackson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Jackson, this to Graham on the short pass. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Santos' kick is up and through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we have reached halftime. Intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Chargers to take over. They were winners over the Dolphins last week. They are on top right now as well as they come up 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Watching that play unfold or watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Goff now looking to throw. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on that.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. There to stop him, Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. They run again with Hunt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. So since that last game did not get a first, they'll decline the penalty there and force a 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. Jackson. The connection made. It's Graham. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And good pursuit yet again by the Chargers as they stuff him behind the line.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers 36. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 22-yard line. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And it's a Titans touchdown. Max Williams from 19 yards away. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting in a great spot, up 2 scores here in the 3rd quarter. They start the drive with Cook, and nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A quick throw there out to Williams.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Well, the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand. And that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
As a former defensive back, I'm not knowing much of physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offense, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Back to the ground. This time Cook. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
On 2nd down, Cook. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 7.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Back now in Nashville. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Jake Moody on for the field goal. A 45-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle. A 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The Titans set and ready to go on offense. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Jackson now.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson.
He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he will have a Titans first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Again, Jackson. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But
looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Option play. Here's Cook. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Cook again. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Back to throw, Goff. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Jake Moody now on for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Out come the Titans now.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now left side on the swing pass. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll give to Cook on the read option. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
They'll try to run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Out of the gun, Goff. Wide open receiver, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now Goff. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Again, it's Cook. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
An 18-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it was 4th down and 1 in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little bit surprised that that's exactly what they decided to do. I kind of thought that they would go for it in that situation. But sometimes I'm sure you just think to yourself, take the 3 points, put them in your pocket, and move on.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He completes this to Sutton. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Play action. It's Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw again is Jackson. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
They run it again with Cook. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 47 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
They try the left side here with Williams. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
1st and goal, Los Angeles.
So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Los Angeles, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.